All right, hi everybody. I thought we'd check in on the Carniolans today. I got my smoker lit, more or less. Got my usual tools. Trying to adjust this so I can maybe aim it better. I'm going to try to learn some video editing because why not? Now it's an overcast day, and when it's overcast, the girls might be a little cranky. Okay, so I see I have some ants here. What I might want to do is I might want to get some cinnamon and spread this around the top, because that actually, believe it or not, it does not harm the bees, and it dissuades the ants from anting quite as much. So now last week I put on a honey super, and we're going to take a quick look and see. It looks like they're doing things. Let's pop out one. I don't think they're doing much, but just want to take a quick look-see-pooksy, see what they're doing, right, before we get into it, before we really get into this. Now, because this isn't the brood nest, I don't have to follow the take the 2 or 8 out. So you see we got some nice comb that they're building, right? So we got some nice, that's a good sign. And if we look down in there, we see a good number of girls. So yeah, there's hope here for these girls. Now remember, these are Carniolans, these are the package. We're not likely to get a honey crop off of them this year, and that's fine, right? We're not expecting to. We are expecting to get a honey crop off them when they have overwintered a year, right? So you see they're a little crabby, but that's okay. I'm going to use my towel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this off, right? She's coming up to check on me. And now we always put this catty corner here to minimize the bee squishing. All right, and now you can see what we got when we have these boxes. So I have a seam here, a seam here, a seam here, and a seam here. I'm going to use my towel, right, to give me a little bit of, give the ladies a little bit of privacy while I take out the 2 frame. This is an 8 frame hive. I do 8 frames because they are a little bit lighter. When you try to lift a full 10 frame, especially a deep, it gets very heavy. So you see they're working on this. Now this is old wax, you can tell by the color, but they're still working on this, and you see that we have a little bit of mold here that they will clean up. I'm actually going to clear out the bottom of this hive. I'm going to take the box off entirely, but this gives me some space. See, they're storing, I don't know if you can see the clear stuff, they're storing nectar in there. I'm trying to get better at the camera angles, guys, please. Thank you for your patience. Now you see they've burr combed these bad boys together because they just got to be sassy, right? They just got to be sassy with me. I'm trying to do this one without using the frame grip quite as much. It's an experiment, right? We all want to better our skills. That's one of the skills I'm trying to better. So you see, you just use your J hook to lift up like this, so you get a good look at the J hook at least, right? And then you can just lift up and have a good view. So you see we got our stained glass. Remember, stained glass is always pollen, right? And now I'll flip this on over, and you see we got some brood, right? And nectar around it. So this looks like a nice frame, and you can see, can you see some of the larvae in there? Okay, there's not a lot here. I can put one end down so I can point things out to you. All right, so you see these white things here? Those are nice, juicy, healthy larvae. You see them? That's nice and juicy, so we know the queen has been here recently. And that's a good sign that she's a laying queen, because remember, this is flat brood. If it's worker brood, it's going to be the bullet-shaped drone brood. So we know we've got a laying queen. Right, and again, I could stop my inspection just here, but I've got you with me, so we're gonna keep doing it. Also, this is just 1 deep, you know what I mean? Like when I get into some of the bigger hives, sometimes I don't want to go bananas here because it's just the one hive. It's just like 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 7,000 boxes, and that takes a while. So I'm going to separate these nice and gently. I'm going to use my J hook to get up. I think I finally have a good camera angle here. I'm sorry about the bad video trying to show you the queen last time. I am trying. It is a work in progress. So this is all, you see that there's no backing here. So they're just laying into what already exists. We got a queen cup here. Again, I'm trying to look at what you're seeing, but I don't see anything in there. They could just be making it to make it. You better not be replacing your queen already, girls. Gonna make me mad. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Okay, sorry, I held that up out of your view so I could look into it. I'm a little nearsighted. You guys don't know that because I don't know how much of my face you've actually paid attention to. I'm not pretty. We're not here to look at me. We're here to look at bees. And again, we got all sorts of good brood here. That's looking nice, right? So we're pretty happy with that. It's about 50 or so degrees today. So, and overcast, which is generally not the greatest weather for doing a hive inspection. Sometimes the girls can be cranky, right? And if it's cold, you have to worry about chilling your brood. You don't want your babies to get too cold, just like you don't, right? Human babies, you're supposed to put hats on them pretty much all the time these days. Same thing with bees. Okay, so I'm separating. I read somewhere that Carniolans do not make an awful lot of propolis, and that appears to be true so far. Excuse me, sweetheart. Hey, whoopsie, hi. Oh, everybody hates the plastic frames. I love them because of how easy they are to move. Okay, let's see what we got here. Again, I'm trying to get better at making sure that you guys see the action. I really appreciate all, I think, 25 of you who are following this channel. I don't intend to make money doing this. I'm just, like I told you guys at the very beginning, some of you might not have seen those videos. I'm just here to make videos where I'm probably going to be making mistakes, to show beginning beekeepers what backyard beekeeping is kind of like. All right, so we got some brood up here. This queen is really good at hiding from me, but again, you see that now we saw that larva, right? I think we're seeing some larvae in here too. So we're seeing some larvae in here too. Yeah, we got larvae in here too. That means that she is around and laying. All right, so we're not worried that she's dead. Again, you don't always have to find your queen. I recommend you try to get in the practice of finding her because it is really fun when you do. Right? It's really fun. But it isn't necessary your first years, especially if you're panicking about it. Like, as long as you have signs that you have a queen and she is laying, that is good enough. You can worry about the rest of the stuff later, right? And now, because you see they're getting a little antsy-pantsy, I'm going to move bee towel, tea towel over to cover them, and they will calm down. I don't know who I picked up the tea towel thing from, but holy cow, that was a fantastic tip, right? That is a fantastic tip, and so I pass it on to you in hopes that you too will learn that tip and use that tip. Oops, sorry. Sometimes when you lift it up, there's a bee under that little dog ear, and she will buzz. If you feel a little buzzing under your finger, you're like, uh-oh. She's not trying to sting you. She's giving you the, hey, please get away. Right, we got some brood over here. Look at that nice brood laying pattern. Okay. This queen gets around, guys. Okay, let's take a look. See, we have this nice brood. You see the larva again here. I mean, she's been getting everywhere. 4 days ago, she was on a whole bunch of these frames. Right? Okay, you see the larva, especially over here. You see the white things in there. She's doing great. She's laying, and she's even laying in those empty spaces. So she is a good laying queen. We're quite happy with that. Okay? Okay, I know, honey, I know. I know. And you notice, remember how mean the Russians were last week? You see how chill these girls are with me? They're not flying in my face. There's not all that loud buzzing. Because Russians are mean. It's because Russians are mean. Everything you've heard is true. They're not that mean. They're not that aggressive. They're just a little bit more defensive than other bees. And this is all going to be resources. So she's in there. She's once again managed to pull the disappearing act on us. She's really good at it. But again, we saw 2 different frames of the brood nest where we clearly had pretty new brood, so we're not that excited about it. All right, now, like I said, I'm going to clean the bottom, so I want to show you what that looks like. I'm going to position this so the towel is covering pretty much the whole brood box to relax them. I'm going to pull off this. Now, I have these on a closed frame, a closed box, right? I don't have an open frame. I'm just moving this piece out of the way, so I'm going to put this box on that one. I'll put this in a little bit. Just make sure the queen's not on here, right? I don't think she would be, but you know, you always want to double, triple check. You never know. And again, the fewer frames you have in there, the lighter it's going to be. You're going to see what I mean when I say I need to sort of scrub this down and clean this. Right? Ugh. Yeah, this got very wet because I had a leaking food jar. So you see this mold? This is really just what we're going to do. I'm going to pop. This is my entrance reducer. We're just going to do a big scrape the grossness. If you have a frame that has mold on it, like you saw that one of mine, sorry, sweetheart, you don't really have to get that upset about it. Bees can handle the mold. What I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to, just like housekeeping, right? Just like a good housekeeper, I'm trying to help them out, right? By getting rid of some of the worst of this, right? Same thing when you see small hive beetle. Oh, you're looking at the ground. You're not looking at this. Sorry. Sorry about that. Same thing when you see small hive beetle. It's not a sign of dire horribleness. They can handle small hive beetle. It's just like, you know, you're helping them out, right? They generally can handle small hive beetle, but everything you can do to help them out is a plus. So you see, I haven't really gone bananas here, but I've scraped out some of this stuff to give them a bit of a leg up. I might put a screened bottom board on them. I normally use a screen board because it does get humid around here. But I decided to try to keep I put a solid one on for the winter. And now you see they're all flying around. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that box right back. Always, always, always. No, sweetie. Get out of the way. Always, always, always make sure we're putting our box on. Right? Nice and square. Oh, I got a little bonus mugwort in there. That's what I have all over my bee yard. This greenery is all mugwort. All right, now. Oh, hi, sweeties. See how everybody's chill under the towel, even though I was doing something that was pretty disruptive. I mean, you wouldn't like it if I came and I lifted your house off of its hinges, right? You'd not be the hugest fan of that. So let me push this in. But yeah, if you see a bunch of like wetness or grossness in the bottom of your hive, you can just do that. You just help the girls out. Help the girls out a little bit. And scrape. Oh, you see the festooning? I don't know if you can see that in there. I don't know what you can see. The girl holding their legs together, like reaching across. Don't worry, girls, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to close that up. I was reading somewhere, and nobody really knows why they festoon. We just know that they festoon. If you ladies could get out of the way, please. And again, because this is an 8-frame hive, I don't have to be too insane about closing up all of the bee space for this to fit in. All right, now I'm going to slide this one in. Boo, 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 boo. All right, oops, have to close up a little bit more. There we go. That's it. So that is our Carniolan check. Again, our queen is really good at hiding from us, but that's not the end of the world. I'm going to leave the towel here for a second. I'm going to keep their entrance reducer off till I'm done in the bee yard to help with some ventilation. And now I'm just going to put their super back on. Okay? And again, we always want to catty corner and then slowly, slowly, slowly twist and square. Right? Make sure that we don't have any weird edges hanging off there. Then my inner cover and my newspaper to help with the humidity. It does get really, really humid out here. It's been raining for the last couple of days, so I'm not really that surprised that there's a little bit of a humidity problem in there. And you'll probably see the girls doing some work to vent the hive. So these girls are okay. All right, so let me just sort of shake these girls off. All right, so that's our Carniolan check.